This program is meant for the students of postgraduate diploma in journalism and mass communication. Today's program is about the kinds of advertisements, and I am Arul Selvan, faculty with the School of Journalism, and today we have our expert from the School of Journalism, Padmini Jain. Welcome, Padmini.
Thank you, sir.
And can you give the details about the kinds of advertisements we are going to teach to the students?
Of course. Thank you, Dr. Selvan, first of all. Hello friends, I am Padmini Jain from the School of Journalism and New Media Studies at IGNOU, and today we will talk about the types or kinds of advertising, if you may call them so. As students of mass communication, amongst many professions that you can choose, advertising is also one of them, and of course the most lucrative one. It pays you well and it interests you well because it's a creative field. Now, what is an advertisement? Advertising is a form of mass communication which is aimed at persuading your target audience into buying into a product or a service. It is a paid form of mass communication, so the definition is suffice at that. Now we'll talk about different kinds of advertising. There are different types of advertisements based upon the way you categorize them. The first way, let us talk about the media in which the advertisements appear. There are video ads, radio ads, print ads, internet ads, outdoor ads, cinema ads. Apart from these basic types, there are also below the line advertisements and also certain new trends in advertising that are cropping up. Today I will briefly take you into all these forms of advertisements, and we'll see examples along the way as we go along. Now, as I talked about these basic categorizations, they are in no way foolproof or watertight compartments. These categorizations can again be further classified. For example, video ads are the ones that appear on television, between your serials or your news programs, and these are also the ones that appear in the CDs or the cassettes that you watch for films. Since your childhood, if you would remember, there were video cassettes and now you see CDs, but still there are some ads that come between them. All these are categorized as video ads. Similarly, there are different forms of print advertisements as well. One is the ones that appear in newspaper and the other ones are that appear in magazines. Now let us talk about the print ads to begin with. Print ads are the ones that appear in print, that is, that are printed on a paper. These can be newspapers, magazines, pamphlets or brochures, anything in print. For example, there are newspapers like the Tribune, the Times of India, or vernacular press like Dainik Bhaskar, Jagran, Rajasthan Patrika, or magazines like India Today, Filmfare, Manorama and other magazines and newspapers. Now what you can see on your screens is an example of a magazine ad. This is a print ad. You have a picture and also certain text and copy. However, there are ads in newspapers that appear. Why do we have to think of other forms of advertisements? Because these have their own shortcomings as well as their strengths. The ads in newspapers have one positive thing. Newspaper, as you all know, is the only product in the whole world which is sold at a price lesser than its cost price. It is produced as a price which is more, however it is sold at a lesser price. Why is it so? Because the price is covered by advertisements. Similarly, all this research on reach of newspapers, the circulation of newspapers, Audit Bureau of Circulation, all these papers claiming that we are number one, we are number two, is because they want to attract the advertisers to them. The newspaper which is sold more and read more attracts more advertisements. Now newspaper advertisements have certain strengths. They come in daily with the paper. So if you ignore them once, twice, you cannot ignore them every day. An ad would appear every day in your paper and somehow or sometime you are bound to notice it. They reach exactly the target audience. People who are literate. Economic Times would have different kinds of advertisements and Punjab Kesari would have different kinds of advertisements. So they reach exactly to your target audience without wasting much of your money. Another thing is the newspaper has enough space. They are not as costly as TV or magazine ads, so you can use that space easily and judiciously to reach to your audience in the exact manner that you wish to. Another advantage is there is still an element of belief associated with the print word. So whatever is printed is more believable. However, there are also certain weaknesses, like a newspaper ad is easily ignored. It has a limited shelf life of only one day, or maybe evening newspaper of only one evening. The morning newspaper has a shelf life of only one morning. And then there are limited formats in newspapers. Obviously, you can only have them for your eye, not for your ear or other sense organs like smell or touch. You can only read a newspaper ad. And another disadvantage is the quality of an ad. The paper of the newspaper is a subsidized one and the paper quality is not that good. Therefore, you can't splurge or have liberties with colors the other way. These are some of the papers that you can see which would have advertisements. Now let me show you some of the newspaper ads. This is a newspaper and what you can see are the classified ads. We will discuss them later, and there are again certain newspaper ads. Now the quality of the paper and the color quality, as you can see, is not that brilliant. So to have this shortcoming done away with, we have magazine ads. Magazine ads are the ones that appear in magazines. Now there are different kinds of magazines, and these ads have certain positive points. They exactly reach your target group. For example, there are magazines for different kinds of audience. There is Femina for ladies, there is Sarita for housewives, then there is India Today and Outlook. These are the news magazines which are for the people who cater to the news. There are lifestyle magazines like Good Housekeeping, Success, Reader's Digest. There are Filmfare, sports magazines, computer magazines, magazines for teenagers, and magazines for the people who are interested in competitive exams. So ads which are given in a computer magazine would reach a computer literate person or the one who would be buying into these products. So your ad reaches at your target group specifically. Another point is that the magazines have a glossy page and a glossy cover. So therefore the gloss is there. The quality of the magazine ad is much better than the newspaper ones. And the magazines are read at leisure. They don't have a short shelf life. Your Reader's Digest would be kept in your home for whole 30 days. And that ad would pass your eyes as many times. Another thing is these magazines are sometimes preserved. You might have seen people who would keep Swasthya Jeevan or even Business Today or other such magazines as a treasure. So even if you pick that magazine up after 20 years, the ad would still come alive in front of you. Now what are the weaknesses of magazine ads? These are not meant for illiterate people. They cannot reach much of the population in India which is illiterate, because these are only meant for literate people. Another thing is that they have limited reach. So we've seen that magazine ads are much more brilliant. So now another kinds of ads that we have are radio ads. That is another medium of advertising. Now as we talked about, magazines and newspapers do not reach illiterate people. Radio reaches illiterate people as well. It is a true mass media. It is a thing which is very, very portable and has become a part of life of people. Now let us come out to the positive points of radios. Radio is portable. It can go with you to your bathroom, to your bedroom, into your car while you are reading or studying for your exams. You still listen to the radio. It also has a wide reach. It reaches all kinds of rural as well as illiterate people. It has a very low cost. These days you have inbuilt radios even in your mobile phones, so you don't even have to spend extra for your radio. Another thing that you can use radio, which is different from print ads, is for your ears. It is a medium for the ears, so you can use wonderful jingles with music inbuilt. Music has a universal language, and so people are bound to listen to these ads with much more enthusiasm than they would look at the print ads. Even with all these strong points, radio has certain negatives, like it is easily ignored and it is taken very, very lightly. You only switch into your radio for listening to the songs and not for the ads. It has a very low reach. Not all the people are listening to radios much, and it is also has narrowly targeted audience. Very few people are listening to community radio stations. Certain people are listening to certain specific satellite radio or FM channel. So it has a very, very narrow reach in terms of advertising. Let us now listen to a radio jingle.
आपके भोजन की तारीफ का राज गगन वनस्पति, शुद्धता और स्वाद के तीन रूप, गगन वनस्पति, गगन सॉल्ट और गगन.
Now friends, you just heard a radio jingle which had all the music and certain catchy lines. Now let us come to another kind of advertisements on the medium, that is the medium of cinema. These ads which appear in the cinema halls when you go there. Now cinema has an advantage of a multi-track music and a very big screen. There are certain ads which have only appeared on cinema halls and not on television or print, like red tape shoes earlier. Now it has started appearing on TV as well, but earlier red tape shoes was a brand which would only appear in cinemas. Then you have certain local ads for jewelry stores or certain doctors which come in the cinema halls, and also ads for the forthcoming movies. A very good example in India is those of family planning movies. These family planning documentaries were only shown during a movie in a cinema hall, and they had huge effect on Indian audience in the era of 1980s. Why did these movies have such huge effect? Because of certain positives of cinema, which are, there are no distractions while you are watching a movie. You have gone to the cinema hall with a certain receptive frame of mind, and you are sitting there accepting whatever is being thrown at you, unlike a television where you can do 100 more chores along with watching TV at your home. Another positive is that cinema hall is usually meant for younger audience. There are usually younger people who go to the cinema hall. So you can have those ads which are targeted exactly at the youth in the cinemas. They have very, very less cost compared to television ads. They do have huge production costs, but then the repeating and the relaying costs are very, very less. Despite these, there are certain negative points. There is a decline in cinegoers these years. People do prefer to watch movies on their home theaters or their computers. So there are not many people who are going to cinema halls, and therefore those ads also miss the audience. And usually the ads are run before the movie or during the interval, when most of the people are coming in late or are outside. So even the audience can be missed. Let us now view a cinema ad. This is an ad from olden days, as you can see. It is an ad for suitings and shirtings. What you can notice in this ad is the length of the ad and also the elaborate way it is meant for the big screen. So while seeing this ad, kindly keep this in mind. It is meant for a big screen, so look at the music, the jewelry, the dresses, and the elaboration of the advertisement. It is for the big screen, the 70mm screen, and also for the Dolby sound systems that are there while watching movies.
Because marriages are made in heaven.
What a lengthy ad. You could afford it only in a cinema hall and the kind of music that they were playing. Now let us come to another medium of advertising, which is television. Television has an advantage of being a demonstrative medium, because here you can use sound, eyes, and a lot of music, and also a demonstrative medium. You can show certain garments being dirty and then put into a detergent, they come out very, very clean. So these are the advantages of television. It is a complete medium. All this race about TRPs is there because you want to show these ads on whichever channel or whatever serial or program is most popular. The positives of a television advertisement are, it has all these advantages of reaching its exact audience. The effect is just immediate, and it is a demonstrative medium, as I said earlier. However, there are certain negatives. These ads are very, very expensive. You all know of a 10-second ad. The channels charge hugely. It ranges from lakhs to crores of rupees. So you cannot probably make an ad that we saw earlier on a television because it has a huge rerunning cost. And these days, of course, there are so many channels that people switch between channels. So whenever an ad is coming, which has been spent a lot of money on, there are chances that people would not look at that even a single time. And then it has limited reach. There are so many channels, there are so many programs, so people are looking at ads only with very, very limited specific audience. So the target audience share is being eaten into with all this technology coming in. This is a storyboard for a television ad, which is Surf Excel, which was the most popular ad. It was rated as the most popular ad of 2007. So this is called a storyboard for students of advertising. We are familiar with it. Let us now see and listen to this ad, what it was.
अच्छा होता है तो दांत अच्छे है ना सब वापस नहीं करना.
This is another storyboard of a SBI insurance ad which has a very brilliant catch line, हीरे को क्या मालूम तुम्हारी उम्र. This catch line was very popular again and it won some awards also at Cannes Advertising Festival too. So this is another storyboard. This all gives you an effect of how brilliant television is as a medium is. Therefore we spend huge money on producing television ads and then at relaying them. But then, isn't it worth it? Let me show you another ad which is for another detergent. You just saw an ad for a detergent Surf. Now let me show you an ad for a detergent Wheel. Now you can guess that how these two ads are very different because they cater to different target group or target audience.
मैं सांस लेता हूँ तेरी खुशबू आती है एक महका महका सा पैगाम ला. एक महकती खुशबू के साथ नया व्हील, सफाई दिखे ही नहीं महके भी.
अरे आप कहे नहीं
पल पल नया खुशबूदार व्हील, महंगी वाली धुलाई बजट में समाई.
So friends, how long was this ad? It was just a 10-second ad. This is the challenge for you also as students of advertising and later as professionals of advertising. Just in 10 seconds you have to choose this slice of life and this great effect that would have on your audience. Now of course a detergent powder would not bring a husband closer to his wife, but what is it? It is of course the aspirational value that you all keep on reading day in and day out in your books. So the aspirational value, the slice of life, the use of colors and also incidents from your petty life, the use of music, all this is very much evident on a medium like television or cinema. Let us now come to another category of ad which is outdoor advertising. This is now based upon the medium. Another medium is the outdoor advertisements. What are these mediums like? These are, for example, you have certain agencies which actually cater only to the outdoor advertising. These are agencies like Rashtriya or Selvan. These ads are of two types, static and transit. What are these ads like? You go out and you see hoardings, banners, posters, wall writings, or even aerial streamers, neon signs, glow signs, boards, writings on the walls. All these are kinds of outdoor advertisements. You also see helicopters or maybe balloons sometimes in the sky with a logo of a school being kept there. These are kinds of outdoor advertising. The moment you step out, this medium attacks you. Now let us talk about certain things. The transit advertising mode, the outdoor static advertisements. As the name suggests, these are the ones that stay at one place. For example, this hoarding for a television serial. You know, all these serials and pictures, for example, Lagan or Jassi Jassi Koi Nahi, were huge cutouts of their main lead characters were placed at streets and audience were attracted to these even before they began. So the outdoor advertisements in static form are good forms of teaser ads. The advantages in static are it has a huge visual impact. You can have a picture as well as huge words written on it. It is very big. You can read it from a distance. So even if you are going for a trip, you're going from Delhi to Agra to see Taj Mahal, but on the way, what do you see? You see an ad for a television serial like Suhasini or maybe Shri. All these serials or advertisements are done through static modes of advertisements. They are very cost effective. They can be changed very frequently. Still, there are certain negatives like they are seen for a very brief interval of time. They can easily be missed because there is a huge distance to be seen from. And there is no control over the audience. You can have audience who just pass your hugely made, wonderfully, beautifully done hoarding and just not notice it. So now, these are certain kinds of static ads. On your left, you can see the glow signs. On your right, you can see certain hoardings. Now let me give you examples how brilliantly these ads are used. These are best for teasers. None of us can forget those huge hoardings of Hi, which were meant for Hutch, or the Airtel hoardings. When FM channels were to be newly launched in March 2003 in Delhi, all these bus stops were covered with 99.2 or 94.3, displaying the frequency of these ads. Then you would have people talking about like Alto. It was to be launched, so they were hoardings saying the hottest little thing in town. When KitKat was to be launched, certain roads from Delhi to Mathura were all painted in red and white and there was written have a break. So people would be talking in their drawing rooms about what is it, what is have a break, or what is the little thing in town, the hottest little thing in town. So these ads are best as teaser campaigns. Before launching a product, you can register in the mind of your audience with the help of static advertisements. The second form is transit advertisements. That is the ads that move. For example, the aerial steamers or balloons, or ads at the back of buses, cars, scooters. You've all seen those stepneys of scooters where they write MRF tires. So your scooter is going, in the back of it you're carrying an advertisement for MRF tire without even realizing that you are doing so. For example, when serials like Kitty Party or Lipstick were to be launched, ZTV took all these back spaces of DTC buses, and those buses were painted with these ladies of the serials saying Kitty Party or Lipstick. So the audience were automatically attracted, and this served a lot of purpose. The positives are you can have a lot of variety in transit advertisements. You can modify the ad to reach your exact audience, and they are very less cost is there. They are very cost effective, and you can cater to a particular geographical area. In Chandigarh, the traffic rules are so strict that the traffic police did not allow static advertisements to be placed on their roads or their bus stops. So what did the clever students of advertising like you think? They thought of a method of transit advertisements. A serial at Sahara 1 called Sathiya was to be launched, and a whole van, three-dimensional van having 3 sides covered with the main characters of the serial, was moving in and out of the city, which said Sathiya, Sathiya, Sathiya. So when the traffic policemen did not allow the static form of advertisement, we went to the transit form. The school buses of children's school buses are covered. The ads for candies or children's bikes or stationaries are all there on these buses. So you can have these ads, you can view them while you are actually on the move, and the ad is also on the move. However, the very understandable negative point of this ad is that they have a very limited reach. They are there for a very small span of time, and because you and the ad both are on the move, you can just pass each other in a flash of a second without being noticed. Now let me come to, I'm showing you these ads. For example, see, the buses are being painted with these things. These are forms of transit advertisements. Right? A florist has painted his ad. Similarly, on DTC buses in Delhi or all around the country, you see ads for newspapers or Priya Gold biscuits being painted on the buses. Let us now come to a medium which is known as internet. We are all familiar with those irritating advertisement forms on internet. These are known as banner ads. You are on a certain page on internet and suddenly a certain ad appears and you click on it, it takes you to another page on a website. These are known as banner ads. Then of course there are other types of ads like text ads, which are like Google AdWords or Yahoo AdWords, which appear on the top of the page or on the sides of the page just in certain text forms, and only if you wish to click on them will the next page open. So these irritating ones are the banner ads, the cool ones are the text ads. Then there are other kinds of ads like the pop-up ads. You're viewing a page and suddenly an ad pops up with all those multimedia things there to attract you in. Then there are opt-in mailings. For example, when you open an email account, they always ask you to tick your interests, what you are interested in, what the mails should be sent to you about, and then certain mails are sent to you about when those products are launching certain new, those brands or those products. These are opt-in mailings. So internet also is experimenting with their ads. There are multimedia ads, there are interstitial ads, there are text ads, there are irritating ones, there are ones that sit at sides, AdWords, AdSense. All these are internet kinds of ads, which of course your generation is using very much these days. Now let us come to another categories of ads. These 6 categories that we discussed earlier were the ones based on the medium on which the advertisement is being placed. Now we have on the way of presentation. Let me take the print ad first of all. On print there are classified ads. These appear in the weekend papers. You've all seen them for matrimonials, for rent a house, for selling a car, for sale of a property. These are little small ads which appear in plain black and white or these days even in colored, which only talk about matter-of-factly things. You know, a car of this make, this year is to be sold at this cost, contact this person, that's it. So these ads are charged per word. So these are classified ads that only talk about what they wish to talk about. This is an example. You've all seen them in your newspapers at different times. You can also see an example over here. These are all classified ads. So now they've taken another shape, which is the colored ads. So these are little ones which only talk about the selling of a product. Second ones are the display ads. The display ads are the huge ads on your paper. These take big space. These can range from small ads to half page ads or even to the full page ones. These are given in the newspapers. So they use color to the maximum. They use color, pictures, text, copy, everything to the maximum, and they are meant for certain products. Huge brands, when they are wishing to attract you to their products, use these ads. So they of course depend upon how well your paper is circulated, how brilliantly your ad is made. You can have a look at one of the display ads that is there. The copy is being written on the side for you. So this is a display ad where you have a brilliant picture. Another kind is the classified displays. These are types of classified ads with little contours, lines, colors, usage of certain artistic techniques to attract the audience. Amongst many classified ads, these one are displayed. This is an example of a display classified ad. Now let us come to another kind of category, which is the content-based category. Again, print ads are of different types. There are ads which have only copy, only picture, or the ones which are combined. Here you can see an ad with only copy. It is of course meant for a very specific kind of audience, the one who is literate, one who could read through this copy, one who would have the patience and the inclination to read through this copy. So another is, again, there is a only copy ad. This one was very small writing. This one is a little like a display ad, but again it is an only copy ad. There is no visual here. Now let me bring you to the second category. This is an only picture ad, because they're displaying a jewelry piece, so this much is sufficient. They don't need a copy for that ad. So these ads are only picture ads. This is again only picture ad with a little copy. One punchline is there, but then an only picture ad. Now you have the third category, which is the combined ad. You have a picture as well as the copy. So the audience would be attracted to a picture and then they would view your copy. These are the most common ones of the print ads that you see day in and day out. This again is, I'll again show you the ones. See, for example, this one. It has a picture and it has a copy also for a shampoo. And the one you can see in my hand is again a picture as well as a copy. So print ads have all these types. Again, you have a picture and a copy. So your product has to be attractive enough. Your picture has to be brilliantly done. The photographer has to be brilliant so that the audience are attracted, and then they read the copy as well. They go through the trouble of reading the copy as well. So these were different kinds of ads, how you can categorize them. First one was the medium, then the way of presentation, and then the content. Now let us come to another category, which is the purpose-based category. What is your purpose of advertising? Number one in them is the product ad. When you are advertising for a product, for example, we just saw the ad, somebody is advertising for a Tanishq jewelry piece. Somebody is advertising for a Raymond suit piece. So this is a particular ad for which you advertise. Let us see an example for it. The ad now you will view is for a product called Fair and Lovely.
कहाँ गए?
पता तो यही है, हम यहाँ पूजा के लिए आए हैं।
पूजा? यहाँ? ये तो एक मॉडर्न ब्यूटी कंपनी है। ऐसी लड़कियों को सुंदर बनाना है तो वेदों के ज़माने में नहीं रह सकती।
आयुर्वेद में निखारा 5000 साल पुराना राज कुमकुमादी तैलम अब आयुर्वेदिक फेयर एंड लवली में। जाओ बेटी। I want this photo. What a face.
अजीब बात है ना पापा, कैसे ये आयुर्वेद जगह एक मॉडर्न ब्यूटी कंपनी की पहचान बन गई है।
ये है आयुर्वेद की शक्ति, नया आयुर्वेदिक फेयर एंड लव।
So now here the purpose of the advertiser is to bring to you a product brilliantly, right? So there are other ads also that we will discuss. The purpose is the first one, the product ad. You also have brand ads here, which are given by institutions. For example, you have a television commercial about Tata where they show everything that they are doing. They are showing about their employees. They are taking care of the employees. There are hospitals, the children are going to school, and there is a man in this yellow helmet that is doing all that. And later, in the last stage of the ad of a 30-second commercial, they say, and we also make steel, Tata Steel. So what are they advertising? Are they advertising Tata hospitals or Tata schools or Tata buses or Tata watches? No, they are advertising an institution or a company, a brand which is Tata. So suddenly we have all these companies or even government PSUs like GAIL or Tata or even Hindustan Times and other private and PSUs, both of them, they engage themselves in institutional advertisements. We'll also see those. This is an example. This is an example of an institutional ad. This is about Tata again that I was discussing. The third category of your purpose is public service advertisements. Usually till date, these ads were done through DAVP. Only the government would care to give public service announcements like using iodine or having परिवार नियोजन के ads आते थे, All these are only for the government institutions earlier, but the recent trend is even the private channels, the private players, newspapers and other media are jumping into serving the public. So now we'll view an ad which was done after the tsunami waves attacked India. This was done by Star Plus. So we have the Star Care ad, which is again a public service advertisement. You can all view it.
अब बारी है कुछ करने की।
जरा सोचिए, किस्मत ने इनसे कितना कुछ छीन लिया है। आइए अपनी खुशनसीबी का थोड़ा सा हिस्सा इनके साथ बांट लें।
पहल कर रहे हैं फिल्मी दुनिया के तमाम सितारे। ये सब होंगे मौजूद एक जगह, एक मकसद के लिए, द हेल्प कॉन्सर्ट। और आप सब इन्हें देख पाएंगे अपने फेवरेट टेलीविजन चैनल्स पर। 12 फरवरी की शाम एक ऐसा लाइव शो जिससे जमा किया हुआ धन भेजा जाएगा प्राइम मिनिस्टर रिलीफ फंड में।
I support health. हेल्थ कॉन्सर्ट 12 फरवरी शाम 6 बजे से स्टार नेटवर्क के आपके पसंदीदा चैनलों पर एक साथ प्रसारित।
So this was an example of a public service advertisement, but then which was done through a private channel. Now let us discuss public service advertising in detail. There is a recent trend of taking or roping in celebrities. For example, Shabana Azmi would do an AIDS campaign, Amitabh Bachchan would do a pulse polio campaign, or Shah Rukh Khan would do one for immunization of little kids. Aishwarya Rai was a brand ambassador for Donate Your Eyes. Because all these celebrities have a much more effect on audience than any normal person would have. So this celebrity roping in is a recent trends in public service advertisements. The unique thing about them is they are not selling a product or a service. They are selling an idea. A message is going across to you in a brilliant way. They are using the slice of life. They are using the aspirational value like all the other advertisements. But then they are not selling a product or a service. They are selling an idea. So they also use brilliantly different things which are what will happen to you. Either they use the fear approach, or they use that after donating blood you feel very good, or if your child had not taken iodine, he would have goiter. So either the fear approach or the proud approach is being used. So now let us view another public service advertisement which is being done by another celebrity who is Shah Rukh Khan.
मेरी देवरानी की है ना खूबसूरत?
घूमने शूमने जा रही है गुड़िया?
आज ही 1.5 महीने की हुई है।
फिर तो पहला टीका लगवाने जा रही होगी। आई, पहला टीका 1.5 महीने में, टिकास, दूसरा 2.5 महीने पर, तीसरा 3.5 और चौथा 9वें महीने में। 4 बार जाना जरूरी है, समय पे सारे टीके दिलवाना, समझे? 4 बार टीके पहले साल। शिशु की यही है सुरक्षित देखभाल।
राष्ट्रीय टीकाकरण अभियान रक्षा कार्ड और मुफ्त टीकों के लिए ANM या आंगनवाड़ी बहन जी से मिलें।
Let us now see another public service advertisement. This is in radio ad, which is again about pregnant women and how you should have a safe delivery.
जननी सुरक्षा योजना अधीन पेंडू खेतर दे गरीबी रेखा तो थल्ले दे परिवारां दी गर्भवती नू सरकारी अस्पताल में जणेपा कराउण ते 700 रुपए अते होर किसी भी जगह ते जणेपा कराउण ते 500 रुपए दी नकद सहायता दित्ती जावेगी। यह सहायता केवल 2 जीवित बच्चियां लई। वधेरे जानकारी लई नेड़े दे सेहत कर्मचारी नाल संपर्क करो।
Now let me again show you another public service advertisement because we'll discuss something from them.
अपने बच्चों को पोलियो की खुराक पिलाइए, उनकी जिंदगी बचाइए। लेकिन आप है कि कुछ लोगों ने हमारी बात सुनी, लेकिन कुछ लोगों के कान पर जूं तक नहीं रहेंगी। क्यों भाई, हमारी सूरत आपको पसंद नहीं? किसी हूर परी को बुलाऊं क्या मैं? अरे मैडम आप ही बताइए ना, हमारी बात तो सुनते नहीं। सिर्फ
नाराज कर दिया ना आपने उन्हें। आप समझते क्यों नहीं? ये अपने सारे काम छोड़कर 1 साल से आपको समझा रहे। प्लीज अपने बच्चों की भलाई के लिए उन्हें पोलियो की बूथ पर ले जाइए। आइए सर, प्लीज आइए, मैंने समझा दिया है।
ठीक है, आप कह रहे हैं तो एक पर नजर रखने वाला आपकी बात में। अब की बार अगर ये लोग नहीं गए,
जाएंगे सर, जरूर जाएंगे। 5 साल तक के बच्चों को 4 जनवरी के दिन पोलियो बूथ पर जरूर लाएं।
So these are public service advertisements, and as you have noticed, these are usually produced by the government because the government has to fulfill its social responsibility. Now let us come to the 5th category of advertisements, which is based upon the style of advertising. There are certain direct advertisements and the others are surrogate advertisements. Direct advertisements are meant about the product. You very well say, okay, this is my product and I want you to buy it. Kindly go and buy it from the stores because it will do this and this to you. However, surrogate advertisements are different. They are meant for products which are banned, for example, tobacco or alcohol. You have to follow certain guidelines. A product, for example, you might say Hayward's soda or Kingfisher mineral water or McDowell's CD. You can talk about all these ads. However, you very well know that all these ads are for alcohol based products. Now, because these are banned by the government, you can only have these ads shown in a hidden manner. There are certain guidelines by SKI and AAAI which these surrogate advertisers have to adhere to. You can now see an ad on your screens. This is again about a product which is banned, which is an alcohol product, but then an ad is being shown for it. This is surrogate advertisement again. Here in my hand again there is an ad for Bacardi, which we all understand as an alcoholic product, but then what are they advertising? The Bacardi holidays or the Bacardi leisure time. So these are examples of surrogate ads. However, there are direct ads which we have seen many just now. Now let me come to another categorization of advertisements which is based upon the coverage. These are local ads, regional ads, national and global ads. The local ads are meant for just local people. They would come in the forms of pamphlets in your newspapers, which would be meant for the local doctor or the local jewelry store of your area. Then there are regional ads which are meant for a little more audience. For instance, there would be certain outlets that are there just in your region. Certain services which are being provided just in your region, or even a public service advertisement for probably agriculture which is given in only the agricultural regions. Then there are national ads which have a national coverage which the whole nation is watching, and they are for products which are being sold nationally. And then there are global ads as well. We'll keep on seeing each of them. This here you can see is a local ad in your screens. These are like pamphlets. These pamphlets, for example, for flea market in Saket, this would be only distributed in papers in Delhi in Saket only. This is again a very example of a local ad. I want you to listen this one, which is meant for agricultural land. Therefore, it is done in Punjabi because it is meant for a state like Punjab, and it only discusses the regional problem of having a proper cultivation of crops. This is a radio ad.
ਸਮੇਕਿਤ ਪੋਸ਼ਣ ਪ੍ਰਬੰਧਨ ਅਪਣਾਇਆ ਸੀ। ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੀ ਕੀਤਾ? ਹਰੀ ਖਾਦ ਦੇ ਇਸਤੇਮਾਲ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਪ੍ਰਤੀ ਏਕੜ 40-20 ਕਿਲੋ ਦੇ ਅਨੁਪਾਤ ਵਿੱਚ NPK ਖਾਦ ਪਾਈ ਸੀ, ਨਾਲੇ ਪ੍ਰਮਾਣਿਤ ਸੰਕਰ ਬੀਜ ਪਾਏ ਸੀ। ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਇਲਾਵਾ ਹੋਰ ਕੀ ਕੀਤਾ? ਖੇਤ ਦੀ 1/12 ਹਿੱਸਾ ਜ਼ਮੀਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਰਸਰੀ ਉਗਾਈ ਸੀ, ਪ੍ਰਤੀ ਵਰਗ ਮੀਟਰ 33 ਪੌਦਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਹੀ ਰੁਪਾਈ ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀ, ਸਮੇਕਿਤ ਕੀਟ ਪ੍ਰਬੰਧਨ ਦਾ ਵੀ ਧਿਆਨ ਰੱਖਿਆ ਸੀ। ਇਹ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਸਭ ਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਾਂਗਾ। ਨਾਲੇ ਇੱਕ ਰਾਜ਼ ਹੋਰ ਹੈ, ਇੱਥੇ ਮਿੱਟੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਜ਼ਿੰਕ ਘੱਟ ਸੀ, ਇਸੇ ਲਈ ਪ੍ਰਤੀ ਏਕੜ 10 ਕਿਲੋ ਦੇ ਹਿਸਾਬ ਨਾਲ ਜ਼ਿੰਕ ਸਲਫੇਟ ਵੀ ਪਾਇਆ ਸੀ। ਬਈ ਵਾਹ ਚਾਚਾ, ਗੱਲਾਂ ਤੇ ਨਿੱਕੀਆਂ ਹਨ ਪਰ ਅਸਰ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡਾ ਵਿਖਾਈ ਦੇ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ। ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਲਈ 1551 ਤੇ ਨਿਸ਼ੁਲਕ ਫੋਨ ਕਰੋ।
This was in a regional language. This was also about a regional problem, and it was dealt in a very regional manner. So we saw ads which were print, which were local. We saw a radio. We heard a radio ad which was a local, a regional ad. Now I'll show you video ad, which is a national ad. What is BSNL? It is a national service provider in the area of telecom servicing. So what was the ad meant for? For a national audience. So it had a language which most of the people would understand. It did not have a regional language. It had an actress in it whom the nation adores. So this was a national ad. Now there are global ads as well. Which are these ads? These are meant for global audience. For example, the ones for Singapore Airlines, or our own ad of Incredible India, the one for Dubai Shopping Festival, or holidaying at Mauritius. All these are meant for global audience. They are produced once and they are relayed in a similar manner over all the nations in the world. So we'll see an ad which is a product ad, but which is a global ad. This ad is shown not only in India but also in other countries like some United States, some country in United States, or in Dubai, or even in Pakistan, because this has a global appeal. Now this is a global ad.
You need to transform your lashes. 12 times more volume. Do you dare? L'Oreal's first two-step volume construction mascara. 1. High definition base for a super structure effect. 2. Breakthrough reservoir comb for extreme volume. Mind blowing. 12 times more volume for your lashes. Volume. Shocking. New two-step volume shocking mascara from L'Oreal Paris. Dare to shock? You're worth it.
So now the language, the camera quality, the product and even the model are all with global appeal. So this ad is released in different nations all across the world because it has a global appeal. I'll show you another very, very global ad which is Indian, and I think I'll have to end with this one because, or can we continue? I think we're running short of time, so I'll end the discussion here. Okay, do I have time to take one more thing? Okay, I'll take one more category. This is the source based category. Now here you have the source who is advertising. Sometimes the company gives an advertisement for its products, so it is the company which advertises its products. Another kind is a group of companies which advertises. So first let us have a look at a company advertisement. This company is advertising its products, so the source is a company.
The taste of India.
यही तो अमूल भैया स्वाद इंडिया का अमूल the taste of India अमूल the taste of India अमूल the taste of India.
Well, this was a product ad. This was a brand ad which was given by a company of Amul. This was not a product ad but a whole brand, and many products under that brand umbrella are being advertised. Another kind is the group of companies where you are not advertising a particular brand but a product. For example, Tea Corporation of India or Sunday ho ya Monday, रोज खाओ अंडे. कौन से ब्रांड के अंडे? नेस्ले ब्रांड के, अमूल ब्रांड के? No, just अंडे. Who is giving this? The Egg Council of India or the Gold Council of India would give ads for gold. हीरा है सदा के लिए, the Diamond Corporation of India. So ads for diamonds, ads for gold, for egg, for tea, ads for jute, all these are product ads which are given by a whole institution which is comprising of many brands of that thing. If you see an ad for tea, which I'll just show you, it is an ad for tea which is given by Tea Board of India. It doesn't talk of Taj Mahal tea or Tata tea or Brook Bond or Red Label. It talks of tea. It talks of of advantages of tea. So this is an ad by the Tea Board of India. This is a product ad, which is an institutional ad. Another ad you can see on your screens. This is again a product ad. Now you have another category after this. This is the source based ads, the company, the groups of company, and then we have the government ads. What ads does the government give? Government gives the public service ads, which are usually relayed through DAVP and which sell an idea for the public good. So another categorization is the government ad. We've seen many of them. We saw the immunization campaign or the pulse polio one. These were all given by the government. Another category is the political ads. These are given by political parties. They are not selling a product or a brand, but they're selling themselves. For example, a much criticized and a debated ad was the India Shining campaign, which was given by BJP after it was in power and the elections were just about to be there. Another ad that you can now see on your screens is an ad by the Congress party. So all these political parties, when elections are closer, to register themselves in your minds, they give ads. The source is political party. So in source based ads, we have product ads, brand ads. The brand ads, the one which are given by companies, product ads which are given by groups of companies, then we have government ads which are usually for the public good, and then we have political ads which are given by political parties. So Jago Grahak Jago is a government ad, India Shining is a political ad, Amul is a brand ad, and Gold Council of India is a product ad. I think you can understand these categorizations, and once when you start looking around you, different categories would actually be understandable to you. There are many other categories which we would discuss about advertising. So advertising doesn't end there, and needless to say, even this lecture doesn't end here. I would like to thank Dr. Arul Selvan, who gave me this opportunity to talk about different categories of advertising.
I hope the students will enjoy that whole presentation. You get a very excellent coverage of that, all the kinds of advertisements. Thank you, Padmini, and thank you, students.
Thank you, Dr. Arul Selvan.